My boyfriend ruined my cup, and I'm thinking of leaving him. Am I overreacting? I, 26 female, and my boyfriend, 28 male, have been living together for over a year now. And while he's mostly sweet, there are a few mannerisms I've had issues with, as I'm sure he's had some issues with mine. We're both from the South originally, so we have some strong personalities that clash. One of these things being that he doesn't always pay attention to my most important things and what he's doing with them. I have a $2,000 PC, and he is aware that when he messes with the light switch in our room, it short circuits everything. And he's almost ruined my PC twice with his thoughtfulness. Now there's this cup that I have. I've had it for 9 years. It's a beautiful hand-painted cup that my grandmother had and gave to me to match my first tattoo after I got it done. It's an underwater scene, and it was truly breathtaking. This morning I found it in the dishwasher, ruined. Mind you, over the entire course of our relationship, I have reminded him repeatedly when he's doing the dishes, please remember, that cup is hand wash only. I've said it to him so many times. The last time I did, he actually snapped at me and said he knows and I don't have to remind him all the time. So I stopped mentioning it. And then boom, this morning happens. I am heartbroken over this cup. It meant the world to me. I've been crying all morning. I've asked him to go to a friend's house because I'm so angry. This isn't the first time he's just been thoughtless with my things. But it's the first time he's actually ruined something so special and important to me. He's making jokes. He's given me emotionless and monotone I'm sorries. I had to ask him 3 times to leave, and I think it's because usually when we argue, it isn't this serious and he waits for me to just be okay with him again, or waits for me to calm down and accept his apology. It's been 4 hours. I've not calmed down. I want him out of my house and to not come back tonight. I'm honestly considering ending the relationship. Am I overreacting?
Yeah, so at first when you first just said like the title of the post, I was like, okay, this sounds ridiculous. Like you're gonna break up over a cup. I was like, okay, I don't think I'm gonna agree with this person. But as you were reading it, I just kind of was thinking more about how a thing in a moment might sound small, but it's the accumulation of the things. I do feel like an action can have a bigger meaning behind it. If all you heard is like, oh, he accidentally broke her cup, right? It's like, okay, why would you break up over that? But if it's like an accumulation and an indication of him consistently not caring, not respecting her things, not listening to her, it's like, that actually is a pretty big problem in a relationship. So, I mean, I think like, you know, OP knows their situation the best, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it actually does kind of sound like it might be an indication of a larger issue there. If he's kind of dismissing her feelings about it, he's saying he understands and then does the thing anyway. Like he's obviously not really listening and maybe not really caring.
Yeah, so my first thought is to separate the object from the intention. You know, meaning matters, but so does context. It's okay for OP to grieve the loss of something special that her grandma gave her. That emotion is completely real, and I have empathy for her. But what's important is not confusing carelessness with lack of care, because I don't think he meant to destroy her cup. Now, having said that, the way that he's treated her since is the area that I think is to be looked at. You know, he's downplayed and dismissed her feelings, tried to make jokes about it, which isn't high vibe. That's rude and inconsiderate, really. And I think if he would have stayed in a sincere mode, she would have been able to move past it because she would have understood that he understood the gravity of the situation. But, you know, when people just like make jokes, and it's again, we all go through, you know, moments where there's so many things going on in our lives. We just sort of want to, look, I'm really sorry. Can we just move past this? You know, can we just, and then if they just don't do it, you just try whatever you can try. But it does seem to be an indication that there is more to this. It isn't just the cup. The cup is actually the physical emotional moment there that she can attach a lot of meaning to.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like a way bigger thing. Like even with just the cup, it's like you would assume that if they were in a real partnership, he would know how important this cup is to her. You know, even if to him he's like, it's just a cup, you should like respect your partner's feelings, you know, that they have all this meaning for the cup. So then you should want to take care of it too, because that's what they do. You know what I mean? It's just sort of a thing of like going back to understanding other people's perspectives, right? Like trying to put yourself in other people's shoes. Not everyone thinks the same as you.
Every partnership has blind spots. And if she could convey how much this loss means to her, perhaps her boyfriend could internalize it and then come back with a better response. That could take a few days or a few weeks, but hopefully he'll be able to understand what actually happened here. But if not, it's maybe time to look at the bigger picture and see. As on a high vibe note, we as humans can be a bit too attached to physical objects, I believe. Makes sense because we assign them meaning or they become instrumental in helping us achieve goals. Like, for example, my acoustic guitar. I use it as a means to an end. And I don't think if something happened, I would just be like, okay, no big deal. Let's just move on. But I would like to believe that if it's just something accidental, like it fell over or somebody was vacuuming and they knocked it over, I mean, I have to take some responsibility in that case. If that happened, like, why didn't I put it away? I could put it in a case. But, let's just say something happened. It would definitely be a loss because I've had it for a long time. I would hopefully not spend months in a grieving process over what is essentially just an object.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree. Yeah, you're right. We are sometimes materialistic, people are, or like, yeah, too attached to these sorts of objects. So yeah, I do get what you're saying though too, where it's like, recognize that this has meaning, but at the end of the day, like that meaning and memories can still live on even without that object there. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's both sides. I mean, personally, if I were in that situation, I would have watched that myself because I know if it really meant a lot to me, I would have done that. But also the fact that she was worried that her boyfriend might be careless and continue to remind him to hand wash it only does sort of show that she doesn't have a complete trust of him, that he has a blind spot towards what's important to her. And that again is a bigger indication of maybe something that isn't on the same level between them. Accidents happen, and that's a totally different story. If like, let's say it actually funny that it would have been better if he would have just dropped it on the floor and broken into a million pieces. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, I knocked it over. I didn't mean to do anything. Rather than he just specifically forgot or didn't adhere to her requests to hand wash it.
Yeah, you're right.
Work